how many times in your life did people say, dude, you're not going to play D1 or you're not going to play in the NFL, you're just not big enough?
Oh, my God, all my life. I think coming to Kansas City was the first time a team didn't care about how much I weighed, me or X.
You're tuned in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast, guiding your gridiron journey, none other than your host, former NFL lineman, Ross Tucker.
Oh, yeah, it is. But it's not just any Ross Tucker Football Podcast. It is a Wisdom Wednesday, live here from Super Bowl Media Row. A lot of wisdom from the Chiefs. Yesterday's episode was a lot from the Eagles from Media Row. Today will be the Chiefs. We got some great interviews with the Chiefs at Media Night. We're presented by DraftKings. DraftKings, the crown is yours. And you know all those interviews? They're presented by my delicious Labatt Blue Light. Drink some Labatt Blue Lights with your friends. Live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Of course, it's delicious beer made by Labatt USA. Buffalo, New York. It's Big Show time.
The Big Show.
All right, you're 2 for 2, Jawaan Taylor, getting to the Super Bowl, man. How does this year, I know it's early in the week, but how does this year compare to last year?
It's amazing, man. We're so blessed and fortunate to be here once again and had the opportunity to play for another Super Bowl. So it's been a long, fun year, man. We're excited to be here.
Compare last year to this year for you personally.
I feel like last year was good for me. I feel like I played really well. This year I battled through a couple of injuries, minor injuries with my knee and stuff like that. But, just kept pushing through every game to make sure I'm available and able to play with my team and keep getting wins.
Biggest difference between the Chiefs organization and the Jaguars, who you spent the start of your career with?
Oh, you say what? Biggest what?
Biggest difference between your organizations?
Difference? I just feel like it's still football at the end of the day. I had great coaches of both staffs and stuff like that, and I played with a lot of great players. But, here, Coach Reed has a formula, man. That's what we talk about is a formula, and, they find ways to win every week, and I love it.
What's the formula?
Hey, man, you got to ask Travis that question. Travis came up with it, Coach Reed, so.
Travis Kelce?
Yeah.
He calls it the
formula?
formula?
The formula, yep. That's the name for the team this year, the formula.
All right, so you and Lane, the two right tackles in this game, you guys get talked about the most in terms of guys trying to time up the count.
Yeah.
You guys do a better job of it than we did back then. I mean, we would time it, but you guys have realized, man, you can really hit it quick. I don't know what the numbers are in terms of penalties or whatever this year, but can you explain to my audience why that's so important?
It's just important. Like I said last year, it's just you get a little bit of an advantage because these edge rushers are really good. They get off the ball very well, so we got to make sure we're getting off the ball, to get to a spot and be able to block these guys. They're very talented rushers in this league, so that's why it comes about. But, this year I definitely felt like I got better with it. But last year, I just had to just learn over the time to just get better with it.
Tell me what you see from the Eagles' edge rushers. For the
really
most
good.
part, it's the guys, Nolan Smith,
Josh Sweat.
Brandon
Graham.
It looks like Brandon Graham. What are you expecting from him?
I expect him to come play and play very hard. I think this is Brandon's second Super Bowl appearance, and I definitely know he definitely want to go out there and play hard for his team. And he loves ball. Playing against BG in my career, I know he just loves the game of football. So seeing him back out there, I know it's going to be exciting for him, his family, his teammates, and also for just the Super Bowl in general.
How about the young guy Nolan Smith and what you've seen from him? Number 3.
Very gifted rusher, man. He plays very hard. He's one of those guys that just steps in and goes hard every time he's in there, and we just have to match his intensity all game.
Josh Sweat,
another great rusher, man. He's been doing it for a long time with them, and he produces a lot of pressure, a lot of sacks. He's a very great edge rusher as well.
Anything you learned from last year's Super Bowl experience?
Just when you have those long moments between like halftime and pregame, it's a little longer than a normal game. So just got to get off your feet, just stay rested and stuff like that, and then make sure you're standing up and ready to go when it's time.
So how does your body feel? Because I'm just amazed. I never made it past the divisional round.
Right.
So for you guys are a pretty healthy team for having 2 years in a row where you go all the way to the Super Bowl.
That's just credit to Coach Reed, man, and the strength staff in here in Kansas City. They do a phenomenal job with us, making sure we're ready to go. Coach Reed takes care of us throughout the week, and I feel like that's why we have guys that's healthy this late in the year. But body feels pretty good. My knee was banged up a little bit, but I'm feeling a little bit better now. Just having an extra week with the Super Bowl, give you a little more rest so your legs feel good.
Good luck, man. Have fun. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
I think it's one of the more unique stories of the Super Bowl. Matt Araiza, you're in the Super Bowl, you're punting. Like, where were you a year ago? For the Super Bowl a year ago, take me through where you were at.
A year ago, I was working at an accounting firm and watching the Chiefs play, and I picked them. I thought they'd win the game. I kind of liked the Chiefs. I thought they'd figure it out, and here I am, a year later, playing for them.
Okay, so then walk me through. You were drafted by the Bills last year.
2 years ago, 2022.
2022, and then you're out 2022, out all 2023.
Yeah.
What prompted the Chiefs to sign you for 2024, and when did that happen?
It just worked out. I mean, I was just waiting for a shot, and it happened to be with the Chiefs. I mean, no place I'd rather be, especially now, playing throughout the year. Such a great team, great teammates, great fan base. It all worked out.
It's incredible, dude. So for 2 years, you just kept training.
Yeah. Watch football on Sundays.
And then all week just do all your punting stuff.
Yeah.
How much easier or different is it for you to punt in a dome like this?
Man, I'm glad you brought that up. So for our past 10 games, we haven't had a game over 40 degrees.
More than 40 degrees?
Everything's been 40 degrees or under for 10
And
for the past 10
I know
games.
you went to Cal?
I went to San Diego State.
San Diego State, that's right.
And
Where
I'm
are you from
San
originally?
Diego.
And you're from San
This is
Diego.
my first time leaving SoCal.
Dude, so what has that been like, punting in, and you played, although in the Mountain West, you probably played a couple cold games.
A little bit, but not really. Not like Kansas City, to be honest with you. So I've been taking ice baths all year. I leave my apartment at 60 degrees. Like, I do a bunch of stuff to just try and get used to the cold. And now I finally don't have to do any of that. It's pretty cool.
All right, what's the difference? Because for me, I played center, right? Center and guard. But when it was this cold, the colder it was, the harder the ball was. And I hated it because I couldn't get as good of a grip on it. What's it like from your perspective as a punter? Like, does the ball being harder, is it harder to kick?
Yeah, so there's a couple things. Obviously, the catching's harder, right? I don't really want to wear gloves. Not a lot of guys want to wear gloves because you're used to the feel off your hand. Especially holding, you need to be able to feel the laces to know how to spin them.
The catching of the ball is harder because the ball's harder.
Yes, yeah, but also the ball in the cold, it'll deflate. So not only are you cold, not only is the air colder and denser, there you're talking about you're kicking a ball that's usually 13 PSI, now it's 11 PSI, 10.7 PSI, and it's cold, it's stiff. So there's a lot that goes into it, so I'm definitely grateful that we're playing indoors.
That's incredible, man, but you've had a good year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not saying that you can't overcome the cold, but whenever you play a cold game, like, whatever I did, it would have been better outside.
Right.
Versus the cold, but.
So take me back to training camp, though, because they signed you, and then what was the, you had to battle somebody?
Yeah, I had competition during OTAs. Then by camp, I was the only guy on the roster.
Wow. So OTAs, you showed enough that they were like, all right, we're rolling with him.
Yeah.
Did they trade somebody else? I'm trying to think. Did they have somebody else? I'm trying to think who the guy was in the recent years. He signed somewhere else? Who's the guy that was the punter?
Last year, Tommy Townsend. He's
in Houston
now.
Yeah, and he's had a pretty good year.
Yeah, he had a really good year.
Yeah, awesome. Dude, I'm so happy for you. Like, you're punting in the Super Bowl, bro. Like, it's been a long journey, man.
It has been. Yeah.
What's it like for your parents? Like,
yeah, it's cool. I'm bringing a good amount of family to the game, and it's just kind of like the cherry on top.
Any chance, like, I don't know what type of guy you are, but any chance you'd be like emotional at the kick or anything like that?
I try and stay pretty even.
Yeah.
It's not the easiest thing to punt if your emotions are
Yeah.
So I don't think so, but who knows? I don't know. We'll see.
Thanks for coming on the show, man. I appreciate it. All right, I'm here with Hollywood Brown. Man, I'm so happy for you on so many levels. When you got hurt earlier in the year, I didn't know if you were coming back. Like, did you think you were going to be able to come back?
At first, when they told me I would get surgery, from my understanding, I thought I would be out for the year with a chance to come back late playoffs. But God had other plans.
It's unbelievable. So how many games you been back now?
I don't even know. I feel like I think I played 4 games now.
Wow. And now you're in the Super Bowl.
Yes, sir.
Is this why you came to Kansas City?
Definitely. I mean, when you envision yourself in those playoff games, playing in the Super Bowl. So just to be here is a blessing.
What makes the Chiefs so good? I mean, you've been on other teams now, so you know the deal. What is it about them that makes them so good?
I think it's just a well-oiled machine from upstairs through the staff, through the players. It's one mission, one goal, no egos, and whatever we need that week to do to win, I think we're like 100% committed to that.
So the thing that's crazy to me about you guys is even if you're not like that many points or that explosive, you're so good on third down and in the red zone. What does Andy do to scheme you guys up so well?
I think we just know how important every play is. First down, second down, and we know if we're in a good third down position, we got the guys. It's really hard to match up, if you're in man or if you're in zone. We got a lot of guys. So for us, it's just really execute and do whatever you can if it's not your play to help your teammate.
Have you been able to help Worthy at all? Because, I mean, I remember like it was yesterday when you were the fast rookie in the NFL, and now, what year is this for you?
6.
Gosh, that went fast, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Went super fast. I remember when you were the fast rookie. How impressed are you with what X has been able to do as a rookie?
Very impressed. I mean, we talked even before he was drafted. The day of the draft, I told him, I hope we get to draft you. He was one of the persons, like, I watched him, like, yo, he reminds me of me, because there's not many guys our size walk around.
Yeah.
And, he's a sponge, He already has unique talent, so anything you give him, he adds it, he applies it. And, that's my little bro, so, like, I just know he going to keep getting better and better.
I'm actually surprised. I mean, not just the 40 time. I'm surprised he didn't get drafted higher. I thought he was just a go guy. You know what I mean? Like, I just thought he ran deep routes. He's got more to his game than I realized. I don't know why he didn't get drafted higher.
I mean, probably the size factor. I mean, not that many of us, like I said. So, teams, gonna shy away from what they're not used to. But I'm glad, he's showing what he could do, and he's gonna continue to do it.
So my thing, though, about size for receivers is, like, Devontae Smith, I do the Eagles preseason games and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae might be the skinniest football player I've ever seen, right?
Yeah.
Or even like Zay is not a big guy. Like, do you think that these teams overrate size a little bit?
Yeah, I think so, because, I mean, like I said, guys now they're coming in at their size. I feel like as long as you're strong and you're able, to play football, like, you should get a chance.
All right, so the issue with size is not as much of a catch radius, supposedly, right? And also there's concerns about your ability to get off a press, right? Because you're not strong. But my thing is, you guys are so quick.
Yeah.
You still beat press. You just beat it a different way.
Yeah.
You don't need to, by the way, the guys that like muscle through press, like, that's not what you want.
Yeah, nah.
Right?
It's funny because people say that all the time when it's like me or X rarely even get press. And so people will put the stigma on us that we can't get off press when we don't even get press. And if we do, we're probably getting the ball. So, like, it's just a stigma because we're small, and, that's been a thing that, for a long time has been the case. So for us, it's just continue to be in the narrative.
What do you weigh?
I'm about 170.
Yeah. How many times in your life did people say, dude, you're not going to play D1 or you're not going to play in the NFL, you're just not big enough?
Oh, my God, all my life. I think coming to Kansas City was the first time a team didn't care about how much I weighed, me or X. Like, they just want you to be
so the
strong.
Ravens and the Cardinals cared about how much you weighed?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
What, like they wanted you to be 180 or 175 or something?
The Ravens, they had wanted me to get up. I had got up to 180, but I lost it because I didn't like it. And then the Cardinals, they just wanted me to be like, 170 to 175. But like here, I might, have a bad week, slip to 165, and no one's batting an eye because they know, what type of work ethic we got, what type of players we are. And I done put up numbers being, 165,
Yeah,
170.
what do they think that 5 pounds even makes a difference? Like, that doesn't, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, for us, it's just, don't listen to the outside noise. When I was younger, it definitely bothered me, and I'm glad that I'm here for X to let them know, like, And none of that stuff really matters. What matters is what you do on the field.
All right, so let's talk about Mahomes. What makes him so good?
I just think he just sees the game so well. Nothing really rattles him. He's ready for every moment, and he knows the game of football. So it's like it's really hard to beat a guy like that when he knows. You can try to trick him, but if he figures out, he knows where to go with the ball. And we're taught to be where we need to be, for him, and he can run. So it's hard, man. He's a tough guy to defend.
All right, so the next question. I asked him this. I was talking with him after the Texans game. How is that possible that Kelsey is always open? It doesn't even look like he's doing anything. Like how? If I'm telling you right now, bro, if I was NFL D coordinator and I played against the Chiefs, I am on third down. I am bracketing Travis like he's a gunner, and I'll make the other guys beat me. It's gotta be. What have you learned from him just being around him?
I learned that he's the ultimate teammate.
Ultimate teammate.
Yeah.
Wow.
When I came back, it's like he understands that teams are keying on him. So it might, I don't know how many games it was, but, he might go a game without getting nothing or not doing nothing. He got to hear about, he's washed and this and that. But in reality, we're killing, or, the receivers are killing. And then as soon as teams start thinking, he's washed, he can kill you. In zone, he's like Pat. Like, he knows where to be in any zone. And then when you're in man, he's like, who you going to put on him? Because you can't just take a corner and put a corner on him and a linebacker or a safety. So he's a Hall of Famer, a tough guy.
All right, so the Eagles secondary's been really good, and two of them are rookies.
Yeah.
And they've been good since day one at camp. What do you see? I think we know about Slay. So what do you see in particular from 27 Quinyon Mitchell and 33 Cooper DeJean?
You could tell, man, they guys got a lot of talent, and they're coming to a veteran team, like some of our rookies, and they rose to the occasion. They're playing really good football, and I could tell, they're a team oriented. They feed off each other, celebrate with each other, and that's what you want to see when you watch a film. There's two good teams. You look at the effort, you look at how guys celebrate with each other. You're like, oh, that's a real team, and that's the reason these guys are in the Super Bowl.
That's cool. Who will you think of when you're out there for the Super Bowl before kickoff and you're thinking about where you grew up to get in Oklahoma, get into the NFL, and the Super Bowl? Who will you think about? Your parents, a high school coach? Who will you think about in terms of helping you get to this point?
I'm just thanking God every moment of the day, looking up and just knowing where I could have been or where I should have been. But, he has me in this moment, and I can't do nothing but express my gratitude every chance I get towards God.
It is awesome, man. Have fun. Good luck.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
I am so proud of this guy, Chiefs linebacker Drue Tranquill. We talked 2 years ago after you moved on from the Chargers.
Yeah.
Didn't know what was going to happen with the Chiefs. And now you're starting in the Super Bowl, man. And I remember you saying, I could tell you weren't thrilled with how things went down with the Chargers, but you said, I got to believe and I'm all in. I know you're a guy of faith. It's worked out.
It has. We talked after that free agency was crazy. We thought we were going to be back in L.A., and never in a million years, we thought L.A., but we for sure did not think the Chargers, or the Chiefs rather. And to be here, to have a second opportunity, man, it's great.
And then you were a one-year deal last year, right?
Yeah.
And you start to play more towards the end of the year. You make some big-time plays in the playoffs. I remember that Ravens game and talking to you afterwards. And then you got a big deal to stay. So it ended up working out, not only better team, win a Super Bowl, but then the financial part and the security for your family came through too.
Well, it was a crazy situation because I came in, they had three starting linebackers,
right,
who had just come off a Super Bowl, all fantastic players. And I just felt something like a piece that I was going to play a big part. And Nick Bolton ends up going down, and my role increases, and I'm playing the mic for a majority of the season while he's recovering from his ankle and his wrist injury. And I was able to get some pivotal playing time and play a big part on a great team that went on a Super Bowl run.
So you and I talked about this, but that says a lot about Brett Veach, that they already had three guys, but they still brought you in. Just for them to have that idea of depth and the importance of depth and making sure that they were ready, that not a lot of other teams would do that.
Well, I know they were chasing other guys in free agency too, but they didn't just like kind of throw out an offer. They pursued me. Like a 1-year deal guy, and they were pursuing me hard, and so I think it just speaks to their work
Pursuing
ethic.
you in what way? Tell me.
They were texting me, they were calling me, like they were spending time on the phone with me about how I was going to play a role, telling me what exactly their vision was for me. Like, you don't get that in free agency. Like, a lot of times it's just coaches and GMs talking to agents. Like, these were the guys running the organization, reaching out to a potential prospect, communicating in ways that were motivational for, and pivotal for me wanting to join the team.
What is so special? I mean, obviously people, they got Mahomes, they got Andy Reid, but what is so special about the Chiefs team, Chiefs organization?
I think there's just great leadership at all levels, decision makers, coaches, players. It seems like in the biggest moments, like we make the best decisions, and we're able to execute on those decisions when they're made. And it's something that's kind of unspoken. You really can't speak it until you experience it.
It feels like it's contagious. Like the other teams make mistakes in clutch situations, and it's like you guys never do.
But that's the thing in the NFL. You'll hear it. You'll hear coaches preach it, but I feel like few teams practice it. And it's this idea of like, don't beat yourself. Like I think Bill Belichick got famous for saying that, is like, let's just not beat ourselves. Let's let them beat themselves.
Right.
And I think, we try to embody that. We try to, minimize our mental errors and like execute 11 as one.
All right, talk to me about the Eagles' running game, in particular, what we've seen from Saquon. Because I've never seen anything like I've never seen a guy with this many house calls, especially in big games like this.
It's crazy. I've never seen a guy jump over somebody backwards. I mean, the dude, it's like
He
playing
weighs
on Madden.
233, dude.
He's big, man.
He weighs two. Have you
People
played against him
wanna
before?
I have played against him before.
Yeah.
People want to talk about his like agility and his ability to make people miss. Dude, he can lower the pads, man. He's a physical back. He's a complete back.
What do you weigh?
I'm like 235.
Okay, so
he's like mono. It's like
he weighs about what you
Yeah.
weigh when you're hitting him. All right, so why do you think he has had so many long runs?
I mean, I think it's a combination of his greatness. I think it's a combination of the blocking. I think you look at the offensive line, the way they're able to create space, but then his receivers blocking down the field. I think the guys at the second and third level, they're having to tear off blocks and try to make a tackle on a guy who's elite.
Dude, it's funny because of what you said. I think it's contagious. Like, this is the best I've ever seen Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown block downfield. I think when you know that your guy, it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, when you know, I better make this block because he can go to the house, you're going to make sure you're not the guy, right?
Well, I bet Sirianni and Kellen Moore are emphasizing that in the meetings, and they're showing it in team meetings, saying, look how great this is. When you emphasize something like that, you're going to get production out of your guys. They believe in it, and they're seeing results, so they're going to keep doing it.
Hey, always good to talk with you, man. So happy for you.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Thanks for coming on the show.
Hi, Ross.
Checking in again on the Super Bowl tickets on my beloved Game Time app. You can now get in for less than $3,000. You can get in for $2,900. I actually predict that these statistics, these numbers will continue to go down, and at least you know that your best bet is the Game Time app because you get the all-in pricing, you get the view from the seat, the lowest price guarantee. I will be there. Even if you're not going to try to go to the Super Bowl, I always recommend going ahead to the Game Time app for college hoops, NBA, whatever. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use code ROSS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, so again, create an account and redeem code ROSS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed. You guys know how I feel about Valentine's Day and how important it is. That's why every single year I get my wife flowers from 1-800-Flowers.com. She loves red roses. I don't know if that's cliche or whatever. I don't think it is. That's what she loves. That's like the standard. By the way, right now, 1-800 Flowers, you can get double the roses. So to claim your double your roses offer, go to 1-800-Flowers.com/Ross. That's 1-800-Flowers.com/Ross. I get double the roses, and because my daughter Tess, her birthday is February 9th, I get 2 dozen roses. I put half in one and half in the other, and I give it to both, so it's two gifts for the price of one. It's genius. OneAndHerFlowers.com. Make sure you use that code Ross. The only thing better than game day predictions are the foods that come with them. Introducing Tums Fantasy Foodball Pool, brought to you by Tums, America's #1 antacid brand, and DraftKings. Turn football into foodball by building your best game day plate for a shot at winning a share of $40,000 in cash prizes. Join the Tums foodball action during this playoff season's most heartburn-inducing time. Visit DraftKings.com/Tums foodball now through February 9th to enter for free and select your game day plate before the start of each playoff round. Age and eligibility restrictions apply. Void where prohibited. See terms at DraftKings.com/Tums foodball. Don't let heartburn keep you on the sidelines. Try Tums Chewy Bites with a tasty outer shell and soft center for fast relief of heartburn, acid indigestion, and upset stomach. Check out Tums Gummy Bites, featuring a soft and easy-to-chew format for fast relief of occasional heartburn, acid indigestion, sour stomach, and upset stomach. Both available at Amazon, Target, and other major retailers nationwide. Be sure to follow Tums at Tums Official on Instagram and TikTok.
Tuck's Takes.
All right, Ross, more big trade news this week. Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp, he announced on social media that he is available via trade, a new one.
And I think I'm going to make this, because I don't know what's going to happen later in the week, I think I'll make this my Labatt Take of the Week, presented by Labatt Blue Light, the pristine Canadian Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together as you can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, New York. What's up with it being trade week this week in the NFL? It's like Luka Doncic gets traded on Saturday night, so then Myles Garrett needs to request one. Cooper Kupp is on the move. I got to be honest with you, this makes a lot of sense to me from the Rams' perspective. They have a new star receiver in Puka Nacua. Cooper Kupp makes a lot of money, and the Rams have learned they've drafted so well, especially just look at their D-line, the defense in general. They have learned it's better to be a year early than be a year late. I know they love Cooper Kupp, but they have deemed him no longer worth the money that he is due. This is the way the NFL works. I do think Cooper Kupp will be an excellent number 2 for another team that thinks he's well worth the $20 million that he needs.
All right, we'll stick with the Rams. They're losing another coach. Texans, they hire Nick Caley as their new offense coordinator.
Yeah, and I got to be honest with you. Like, there's a lot of coaching news, Jack, that we haven't gotten to. The Jets hire Tanner Angstad as the OC. The Cowboys hiring Clayton Adams as their OC. I don't know much about these guys. You know, the Tanner Angstad one with the Jets, at least Aaron Glenn was with him with the Detroit Lions, right? So he has a familiarity with Tanner. He knows what Tanner's all about. He wanted to bring him into the fold. That makes a lot of sense to me. For Nick Caley, the only thing I would say about the Texans and Nick Caley is DeMeco Ryans is the head coach, and he's the defensive coordinator. I would have thought they might have wanted someone with more experience. That's not what ended up happening, but we'll see. Obviously, a lot of people like to go to that McVay coaching tree. It has been very, very fruitful. More incredible interviews with the guys playing on Sunday on Thursday's show. Other than that, I think we're done here. All right, the Super Bowl is set. It is the Eagles and the Chiefs. I've been telling you guys about Smirnoff being an official sponsor of the Ross Tucker Football Podcast all year. So you already know that they're also an official vodka partner of the NFL and Super Bowl 59. What I love about Smirnoff is that you can get the world's #1 vodka without breaking the bank. Very important. This feeling is what the good folks over at Smirnoff call Smirnoff Extraordinary. And yes, I can say that way better than the guys in the TV commercial. They've got some awesome items right now dropping, including from Vernon Davis. You got to check it out. Head on over to SmirnoffDrops.com to check out upcoming drops and check out these Smirnoff Extraordinary items. Go quick. They won't last long. Please drink responsibly. Smirnoff number 21 vodka, distilled from grain, 40% alcohol by volume. Smirnoff Company, New York, New York. Pricing at sole discretion of the retailer. May vary by state. Please not share with anyone under legal drinking age.
Thanks for tuning in to the Ross Tucker Football Podcast. Make sure to also check out Even Money, Fantasy Feast, and College Draft, all on the DraftKings Network on Samsung TV Plus, YouTube, or subscribe to the podcast on your favorite platform.
Shout out myfrontpagestory.com. By far the best Valentine's Day gift of all time. Love backofficescheduler.com, humanheadnyc.com, Sporticulture, and Pizza Boy Brewing.